8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
What is up? Welcome to the Monday Morning Recap. I am your host for the day, Rob Fox, filling in for Ross Patterson. He is back in a coma. Someone sneezed on him, and he's not doing well.
AIDS.
Yeah. He says they sneezed the AIDS out of their penis.
Bet on the Braves. Oh, wait, they're not playing.
This is good news for the Braves season. Yeah, if Ross is back under.
What do you mean bet on the Braves?
The Braves only win when he's not around.
That's true. I mean, I feel like I'll give it one round. If they get bounced in the first round, I'm not participating in that bullshit.
Yeah.
But if they make it through the first round, I might nuke him. You know what I mean?
Just frying pan to the head.
Yeah, just give him something.
Yeah.
I don't know what yet. I haven't decided. Or maybe I'll just keep him on nitrous. For 4 more weeks to see what happens.
He's kind of like the you just keep him in like an induced coma in your. I guess we're in Texas. You don't have a basement, unfortunately. Maybe we dig a hole
Just in the backyard somewhere. Yeah. I mean, he'll attract all the mosquitoes, and that'll keep him away from me.
You might get bled out from that. That's one of the most upsetting videos I've ever seen. Is a baby giraffe collapsing because it was covered in ticks. It was just getting bled to death in real time. Welcome to our sports show, where we talk about dead baby giraffes. No, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to give you home run derby previews and shit like that. But the biggest news of the day is in college football. The season's starting in 2 months, basically. A month and a half.
Well, yeah, so week 0 is, I think, August 26th is that Illinois game we're going to.
Yeah.
So, a month and a week.
Yeah. We are real fucking close.
College football starts Friday, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we've got the All-Star game, or not the All-Star game, but the home run derby to bet on tonight. Yeah. And there's some decent golf tournaments.
British Open this week.
Wimbledon was cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about Wimbledon a little bit.
Yeah, but it's British Open's coming up, but man, it's getting sparse for gambling. You guys are carrying most of the weight with your show. To be honest,
right
fucking
now. Casino.
Yeah, just like screaming, watching all the joy leave your body.
Yeah, it's so quick too.
It's almost like here's how it feels to me, because sometimes when I come in early, I'll sit over there and watch you assholes. What it feels like to me is when you win, it's like that click, 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 click part on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then I see you lose, and it's the exciting part, you know?
And it's the lose, like the win, like the click up, it is at that pace. It's like up, just a little more up, a little more up. And then when it drops, I mean, it's like just immediate, like gone.
Some of that seems like it might be self-inflicted.
it's all
mostly
self-inflicted. Like, you know what? I keep winning on these $100 hands. It's time to put 1,000 on the table. God's telling me to do something differently than what I'm doing when I'm winning.
God's plan.
Yeah. But yeah, we have humongous college football news, at least in the form of a rumor, and that's
fact.
Big 12 expansion. The death of the ACC, potentially.
The big 3, the power 3.
The rumor has it that Clemson and Florida State are doing everything in their power right now to get the fuck out of the ACC and get into the Big 12, along with 2 other ACC teams yet to be named.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean...
4 other?
Maybe 4 other. But
holy
we'll
God.
See.
For SEC, Louisville, probably, right?
Well, the SEC's not taking anybody.
Not the SEC,
the
I'm sorry.
Big 12?
For the Big 12, yeah. Probably Louisville.
No, I would think if we're going the 4 biggest teams in that conference, it would be Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and then Miami.
I thought you meant 4 additional teams to them.
I thought it was
6 total.
He's going with 2, which is
I read 2
confirmed.
others.
But if it's 4 other, then Louisville.
I would say
maybe Duke.
Yeah.
If you're going 4 others, it's actually a pretty easy exercise because it is Louisville, who has had pretty recent success in the 2 major sports.
I don't know if they're obvious.
They are absolutely obvious.
Compared to everybody, compared to like Stanford and Virginia Tech and Virginia.
Not over Miami, though.
No, not over Miami. He said if they're going 4.
I would say in the last 15 years, Louisville has been like comically a better
They don't have that banner anymore.
athletic program that I don't give a fuck.
ripped it down.
They have a Heisman winner, maybe the best Heisman winner of the century, and a national championship in basketball. I don't care if Rick Pitino bought hookers for anyone or whatever.
Yeah, that didn't affect what was going on. Well, I guess it did.
It actually really super duper did technically.
But that's technically something that the kids could have accomplished on their own.
Yes.
Yeah,
It wasn't a performance.
The current
enhancing
state
drug.
of their basketball program is
You're right.
dismal.
They're down pretty bad, but they have money too. That is a program with yum money,
Yeah.
as they say.
But if it's just two, I mean, if it's Miami would be up there at the top of that list too.
But so
if
yeah,
it's just
but
two more.
4 is easy to me because it's Louisville, Miami, North Carolina. I would go Duke for sure, and then
Just to keep the North Carolina Duke
yeah.
basketball.
And actually, even then, it's not that easy because there are other like name brands in here. Like I don't really care about Syracuse, but Syracuse is kind of legit. And NC State and Georgia Tech are all.
Boeheim's gone.
Yeah,
Syracuse is nothing. Yeah.
I agree. But if it's 2, who do you take if you just have 2?
North Carolina, Miami, along with Florida
If it's
State.
just two,
Yeah.
Clemson and Florida State.
No, on
top of
those
them. Yeah, North Carolina, Miami, probably.
I would.
Although Duke is there too. I feel like Duke has been pretty. They've been above average in football for the last couple of years, and it's always a basketball school. That like you don't. Miami doesn't play. They're not consistently good at multiple things that matter.
But then the Big 12 would be so spread out that you would keep that like little Florida region. Could be their little portal, whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Yeah.
The Ford quad. It'd be like UCF, Florida State, Miami, and then like North Carolina.
I mean, the Big 12 is all over the fucking place right now. It's from Utah to Florida, for Christ's sake.
Fucking yeah, it's insane. I would actually. I was saying Louisville, but if I had to just pick 2, I would take the two other biggest brand names, which is North Carolina and Duke, because like Duke is a profitable athletic program off of basketball. That's one of the few schools like Kansas where basketball is the main breadwinner.
Yeah.
So and also by the way,
Big time Nike school too.
the Big 12 is already like head and shoulders the best basketball conference. Adding Duke and North Carolina to it.
Adding Duke and North Carolina to Arizona's been really good lately.
Yes.
And Houston, who's always good, and Kansas. Man.
Do you just check out for basketball at that point as a UCF fan? I mean, you're just so fucked so hard.
I don't know, though. I feel like doesn't more talent in the conference bring more talent to all the teams?
It can.
It hasn't worked for Vanderbilt necessarily.
No.
But they don't care about that.
No, we hope for a Taco Fall situation.
Yeah.
You know, we play a 1 seed really hard in the second round.
Maybe
and
Jordan's
get
got some
bounced.
grandkids coming soon.
Yeah. I mean, probably you would think, but yeah, the Big 12 in terms of a basketball conference is.
Cool. Can you imagine it's going to be a Jordan Pippen kid, technically, right? By marriage.
My God. Yeah.
We're still 18 years away from that one.
Yeah,
right?
although I guess she doesn't. Unfortunately, it's not a Pippen daughter; it's Pippen wife, so she doesn't have any Pippen genetics.
Well, you don't know that he's not dipping over there too.
Yeah, I guess
we'll see.
That's fair. But how do you think?
That would make them the SEC of basketball, basically,
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
But maybe worse, to be honest.
It would be. I think it'd be more dominant. Like certainly, it would be. I mean, because.
But then again, you beat up on each other all year, depending on how you divide up the schedule.
Yeah.
Which is something that the Big East used to run into back in the day. They just fucked each other
Big
up all
Ten
the time.
claims that.
The Big Ten, who's good in the Big Ten in bat? You talking
All
about
of them.
football?
No, in basketball. Big Ten's usually pretty good at
Yeah,
basketball.
they're all pretty good.
They
but
just
they're not-
don't win natties.
They don't
That's the
ever
whole
win
thing.
natties.
Ever.
Because
Yeah.
they say they beat up on each other in the regular
No,
season.
that's bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here.
They have decent teams, but it's not like anything close to what
Purdue was
the
just
Big
in the
12 has
natty.
done.
Yeah. What?
Purdue was just in the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten's a great basketball conference. It's just the Big 12, though. Like Arizona, Baylor, fucking Houston, like we said.
Even a West Virginia.
Iowa
Yeah.
State, K-State, Kansas. Yeah,
It's a
West
murder show.
Virginia.
Yeah, we give up on basketball.
It's not. Yeah, you.
I think the Big 12 does have to
As
make a
in
move like
UCF.
this.
Yes.
Somewhere between 2 and 6 teams, they got to make a move because as it stands right now, I don't know who's better between the SEC and the Big 12 right now, to be honest.
So
Or,
if
I'm sorry,
they-
the Big 10.
If they add 4 more teams, they have 20. This is a 20-team conference.
Well, maybe they kick some out and send them to the ACC to do a
No.
1-for-1.
that would be
Not us.
so.
You guys are on the Atlantic
fucking
coast.
Funny.
No, the funniest part is SMU paying to be in the ACC, and then ACC implodes.
Let me ask you this: is as it stands right now, SEC or Big 10, who's the better conference?
Overall, or
Football.
Oh, SEC, easily.
So Texas. I don't count A&M.
What do you mean?
Because they fucking, it doesn't matter. They had 6 of the 8 top fucking transfers 2 years ago, and they won 6 games. That's not a real school.
They're definitely underachievers.
Yeah.
They have the money, which is something that UT used to say for years and years and years, but they finally started winning again.
Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Missouri's pretty good.
Yeah, no, SEC is the best football conference.
LSU, Georgia, Florida.
Big 12
Alabama
this year is the most fun football
But
conference.
Big Ten now is say what you want about Iowa, but they're going to win games. They beat people. They beat a lot of people.
Here's the thing, though. The divisions are gone.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Are they going to win games?
Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Beyond them, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, USC, Washington, Wisconsin. Like, how does that stack up? Because remember, we're in a post-Saban Alabama now.
Yep. But
so I don't know.
DeBoer's still going to be really good at Alabama.
You'd think so, right? You'd think so, but it might take time.
Also, you want to talk about the most infuriating team to play against an NCAA or College Football 25? It's going to be Alabama with Jalen Milroe. Milroe's going to be like the best.
The cheat code, yeah.
The cheat code for dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to have any legacy players. Do you remember? Could you imagine having the opportunity to play with Lamar Jackson?
Oh my God!
In college football game, it would be like playing with Vic that first year he was in Madden.
Yeah,
or even
like
Vic
it was
at Virginia
unstoppable.
Tech.
Yeah. That'd be. I hope they do. That's like the best part of the games. That's been.
Well, now it's NIL, so you can reach out to the pros and give them money too for their likeness on the game.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not boxed out. It used to be boxed out from even being on the game because of that.
And honestly, you would think that a lot of those pro dudes would be like, "Fuck yes, put me in the game."
I mean, if I'm this school, if I'm Louisville and I'm trying to raise a little money for my NIL fund, I'm like, hey, Lamar, we'll pay you X amount to put you on here just to boost the reputation of the school and shit. Why wouldn't you do that?
I already have my questions about the game, though, because they made Colorado too good.
Oh, really? Did you see what
yeah.
Travis Hunter said about the Colorado team? He goes, they were like, is the game realistic? They're asking Travis Hunter that. And he was like, or is Colorado realistic in the game? And he goes, yeah, man, this O-line ain't blocking shit. He was just like, our O-line sucks.
That's a lot different than what the other guys said, that we're every team's Super Bowl.
It was Shador, didn't he say that?
I think so, yeah. I don't remember if it was Shador or somebody
Shador's
else.
like a 97 in the game.
It's insane.
Yeah.
This Colorado team is going to win like 4 games. I swear to God, I'm betting against them in their. Who they play in South Dakota State?
Hold on, let's look at their
Something
schedule.
like that.
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State? Oh, dude.
I just want to look at their schedule so I can have. I'm not feeling bad today, but I could feel better. You know.
I think we catch them in Orlando, so that's fun.
I mean, they
beat
don't.
the shit out of them.
They play North Dakota State at Nebraska. They probably win that one, to be honest.
Nebraska's turning it around with Rule.
People have been saying that for 5 years, dude, since Frost showed up.
He just got there.
This is year 2, right?
I know, but people have been saying that since Frost showed up.
I get
they're turning
that.
it around.
I just think so lowly of Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado State, didn't they almost lose that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 47,
It went to
45
overtime,
or some
yeah.
shit like
Was
that.
that at CSU though?
This is at CSU.
This one's at
Yeah.
shit.
So they're probably going to lose that one. Then Baylor, they're definitely losing that. At
Baylor's not that
UCF,
good this year.
it's still better than Colorado.
Yeah, that's true.
And well, at least it's not in Baylor.
I'm not super high on my team this year.
At UCF, who knows? Kansas State, they'll lose that. Arizona, they lose that. Cincinnati, they lose that. Texas Tech, I don't know.
They're about comparable, I would imagine.
Then Utah, that's a loss.
Kansas
is a loss. Oklahoma State, TBD on
Who
that.
knows? You know, if
You
Ollie
don't know
Gordon's
until like
getting-
week 6 if Oklahoma State is
Yeah.
good. in
Ollie
any given
Gordon's
year.
going to get 50 carries a game to punish him for his DUI. Did you hear that?
No, we're going to punish him by making him play.
No, that was the bet. That Gundy quote supersedes his "I'm a man" quote. Now, did you see that, Dan? Oh my God, they're talking about Ollie Gordon's DUI, and Gundy was like, I mean, getting in a car after 2, 3, 4 beers, I've probably done that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, that's fucking true. Everyone has done that.
yeah.
Stillwater, Oklahoma, yeah.
Especially in Stillwater,
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
but it's like rubbernecking. You don't fucking tell people about it.
Yeah.
It's like fucking keep that shit to yourself.
You
man.
definitely do. But like,
Remember Huggy Bear got fired because there was just cans pouring out of his car?
yeah, but he was like 1970s alcoholic.
Yeah,
like
and literally drinking in the car.
yeah.
That's different than driving.
And he
drunk.
just went after the Catholic Church.
Yeah, that's not 3 beers at your local like gastro pub and then you're driving home. Like that dude was crushing core. Like he just had cores rattling around on the floorboards, which I respect and love him for. But it is what it is. So does the Big 12 would they still be 3rd in the pecking order, or would this put them?
Yeah, probably.
over the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
because I think a lot of people are underrating Utah. It pains me to say this, but as long as KU's quarterback stays healthy, they might be pretty fucking good this year with Leipold. And, I mean, Leipold's done a good job there. K-State has been super competent the last couple of years.
If you go blind resume, yes. But if you go with prestige, history...
Oh, yeah, they don't touch it on
They
prestige.
don't touch the Big Ten.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Especially with, the biggest stadiums in the country are all Big Ten based.
The Big 12 actually has a lot of small stadiums, just in general, which is fine. But it's not a big in that regard at all. I think they probably don't. I think blind resume. You're right. I think blind resume they get very close to the Big Ten, mostly because I think the top of the Big Ten is still probably head and shoulders above this, but the middle I think is much better in the Big 12.
If the Big 12 only takes 2, though,
right?
That still puts them at 18, right?
Yes.
So does Big 10 show up and pick off a couple more from ACC?
I would.
Right.
If the Big 12 only takes 2,
I mean, do you come get Duke and North Carolina? Because I immediately do that.
Yeah.
If I'm the SEC or Big 10, I'm on the phone with those organizations immediately.
I mean, you also got Oregon State and Wazoo out there. Just kind of chilling.
Nobody wants to make those flights. That's the reason they're out there by themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fly out
Oregon, it's going to be weird this year because Oregon's playing Oregon State like week 2 for the Civil War.
there. Yeah.
At least they kept playing. So there were a lot of butthurt rivalries that were like, "Fuck you," we're not playing A&M and UT, Kansas, Missouri. There were other ones too, but yeah, I don't. So the SEC commissioner, I read that because he's been kind of asked about this too. Like, well, okay, you're gonna go headhunting now that the Big 12 might poach Florida State and Clemson, and he's like, I don't recruit for schools, and I don't want to get the SEC tied up in litigation, but all of this, it's like an NBA salary cap. It's all meaningless. Like they'll just do whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that needs to be legally adjudicated right now is Clemson's exit fee from
Florida
the
State's
ACC or Florida State's. Yeah,
both of
I think
them,
they're both. I don't know what Florida State's is, but I think Clemson. Or no, Florida State's is 130.
And Florida State's already tied up with the PIF, so the Saudis will pay that.
Well, so another interesting factor of this Big 12 expansion, that money is that might be why the Big 12 is seeking sponsorship. Right, it's fucking the Totino's Big 12 football season or whatever. Like they're seeking private equity to like
give
sponsor
me
them.
Big 12 sponsored by Aramco.
Yeah, why not?
Raytheon.
Just Saudi oil.
They just got tanks parked out on the fucking thing.
The Emirates are sponsoring the NBA in-season tournament this next year.
Jesus
It's the Emirates
Christ.
Cup now.
They're gonna own everything.
Yeah, why not? It's free money. So that might be the reason that the Big 12 is seeking to be the Big 12 brought to you by, whatever, is so that they can afford $300 million to get these two giant name brands the fuck out of the ACC and get them into the Big 12.
And if you're in North Carolina and Duke, you don't want to be the last assholes to jump off ship here.
No.
Right?
No.
And you also, I think they will want, the two organizations will want to stay in the same conference for all the reasons you can imagine, playing each other during the year and all those ticket sales.
Yeah.
And just keeping that, like, that's a rivalry that can't go away, I don't think.
Hopefully.
No, because you need that. I mean, so obviously basketball is easier to do this in, to get like set up a non-conference
Because you can
game.
set up a non-con.
Yeah, because you play
2 weeks
30
before you play
games a
'em.
year. Yeah,
Right,
it's
yeah.
different.
So they could keep that going, but the problem is, what would it be, like neutral court, you home and home every other year? Like that sucks. Like they play each other twice a
Cameron
year.
Indoor is too small for them to give up home games.
Yeah.
Like the ticket sales from that, they can't lose it.
Yeah.
To be honest, unless they get compensated, which is different. But
even still, like I mean, if they care about the town or whatever, like a lot of you make so much money when these games come to town. But they play each other, usually like minimum 2 times, usually 3 times a year if they meet in the conference tournament. So yeah, like that sucks. You would want to keep that together. You would think that they would want to be joined at the hip. And who knows? There might be. This has happened a lot in realignment. The legislators get involved and you get like alums that are in the state legislators just trying to make sure everyone stays tied together and shit like that. So yeah, who the fuck knows? But I'm excited for some more conference realignment. I think that makes the Big 12 really fun because right now I'm kind of like I find them sleepy.
Listen, if it's going to happen, I'm glad it's to my conference to beef it up so we don't get like squeezed out.
Look at UCF just making like all the shrewdest moves possible. Can you believe you played chess better than like Oregon State and like all these other schools that are Cal?
Because we've been burned before. We moved to the Big East, and then everybody in the Big East left.
Oh, God.
Big 10 is already 18.
And so is the Big 12.
No, they're 16 right
Are they
now.
at 16? Okay.
And so is the SEC. So
Okay.
maybe it's Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina goes to SEC. That would be interesting.
You got to get
Yeah.
too big to fail.
That would go into the SEC would pretty much end any chance they have at football, but they don't really have any chance anyways.
No, and the SEC really, really wants to. The SEC, it's like that front is like done. It's conquered, right? Like they're fine in football. Even if the Big Ten catches up, it would be very difficult, probably impossible for them to overtake the SEC. I think it would only ever be a 1 and 1A.
And the only two teams I think the SEC would be interested in would be Florida State and Clemson.
Or North Carolina Duke.
I think North Carolina Duke as well.
Because that's very Southern. It fits that. And also, what I was going to say is they're super interested in becoming very dominant in other sports. Like the basketball resume has skyrocketed for the SEC.
Baseball,
yeah,
they're
of
always
course.
great in. Yeah, like
if North Carolina and Duke this mapped onto last season were in the SEC, they would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in the top 25 in basketball.
Jeez. Yeah. And this.
So that would be something.
Yeah. And I want to say the SEC kind of wasn't like had a little bit of a down year in basketball as compared to the last couple of years. And that, or you've got up and comers too, because did you talk about OU and Texas on that? Did you include them in that?
No, but they're not on here.
They're not in that?
They weren't top 25 at the end of the season, but
I think
they're teams that could be for sure.
Yeah.
So you could be talking about 8 or 9 teams.
I think UT is probably going to take a nosedive in basketball because I think their coach sucks. The guy that they like felt obligated to hire after he took over Beard's team and got in the tournament. Don't love that guy.
They could just bring Beard back.
Well, Beard's at Ole Miss now.
Oh shit.
So Ole Miss trending up. I love the OU coach who came from Chicago Loyola. He's a great basketball coach. He's going to do things better. Kentucky, I think, will always be Kentucky. Arkansas has Cal now. Alabama's great. I mean, like, this is a good fucking basketball conference as well. Tennessee's wonderful.
I'm interested to see what Kentucky does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're Kentucky. Like, they won a fucking title with Tubby Smith. Like, it's...
Whoa, fucking ricochet shots at Tubby Smith. It's unnecessary, bro.
I know.
A little drive-by.
Was it accurate?
No. Tubby Smith's fine.
Come on now.
Fine. He's fine, and he won a title at Kentucky. This dude, I forget his name, but he was an ex-player. He might be fine, and he's probably better than fine. He was pretty good at BYU.
Cal's not a good coach.
Yeah, and he still won.
He's an awesome recruiter. Mm-hmm. And he puts his best players on the bench, which is,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is the big news. We'll see where that goes with the Big 12 expansion. And if they do only take 2 teams, at some point, I don't understand how you have 20 teams in a college football conference. So
Get used to it, bud.
Yeah, I know.
It's the future.
I know.
It's going to be a Power 3, maybe a Power 2. Everything merge. Power 1, just merge it all together.
And then make these like regional geographic divisions where
I fully expect us to get booted.
just
Yeah.
relegated.
You guys are going to the ACC, bud.
Yeah. Get us the D2.
It's all right.
It's fine. Next up, because I'm fucking hosting today, we're going to talk about tennis.
No.
And specifically that Carlos Alcaraz just fucking wrecked Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon.
What a day for Spain.
Truly.
You get a
Alcaraz is the new fucking grass.
You get a
guy.
tennis major.
Yeah.
If there's grass, he wins.
Yeah.
If he's healthy and there's grass, he wins.
Well, he's
That's
got
just-
everything but an Australian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he is 21 years old and 1 title away from a career
Almost a
Grand
career
Slam.
slam. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
He has more titles right now than any of the big 3 had at that age. Like none of them had 4.
And here's the other part of that: the big 3 coexist. There's some lack of overlap at the beginning and end, but they existed together for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck is Alcaraz competition for the next 15 years?
It's not the same.
I mean, I'm sure somebody's gonna show up, right? But right now,
yeah.
he may go on. He may start winning like 40% of the majors for the next fucking like 2 or 3, 4 years.
This is the thing I always think about with when that big 3 existed. So a lot of people are like, man, if Federer didn't, or if Nadal wasn't around, Federer would have won so much more. But I think it's actually more true that if Federer wasn't around, Nadal has like 35 majors.
Yeah,
Because
Nadal really like clay rather.
Yeah.
He dominates.
He and Federer only ever won one on clay.
Yeah.
But Nadal was showing up in the finals of every other one, including grass. He was in a ton of Wimbledon finals.
Yeah.
It's more likely that Nadal is breaking 30, or honestly,
because he was
Djokovic
gassed.
is breaking 30 if neither of them are around.
Yeah. Nadal was gassed to the gills.
Yeah.
His legs are fucking insane.
His whole body's pretty big.
Yeah.
No. He's a big dude.
But Alcaraz now, Dan, back to your point, the shit I'm watching him do on grass is unbelievable. And by the way, like, you don't really think about it because he's not big. Like, he's not tall. He's not powerful. He might have the hardest serve of anyone that size that I've ever seen. He's dropping like 130 plus mile an hour serves, and he's like a tiny little guy. Like,
is he a playboy?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Hopefully that's his downfall.
Nadal was kind of like was dating lots of models, I feel like, for a while, but he kind of quietly settled down. And he was never like, he was dating like models you never heard, just like random European hot chicks that an American would not know the name of. You just see him on a beach with like some impossible woman. And yeah. But
well, I wonder who's the best on grass ever? Like Sampras maybe?
Federer.
Well, I guess results wise, but Sampras retired at 28. So it was a different world back then.
Yeah.
But he dominated Wimbledon.
He did most of his work on grass.
Yeah. He won, what, 8 Wimbledons or some bullshit like that? 7 maybe?
He had the record with 14 total, but he won a shit ton of Wimbledons, yeah.
I think a bulk of his were Wimbledon because he just dominated every year.
He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Wimbledons.
7. That's fucking ridiculous. Well, how many did Federer win?
Definitely more.
Yeah, definitely more than that because he's got, what, 23 total?
I think he's got 21 total. He won Wimbledon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, okay.
He stole one from my boy Andy Roddick.
He stole a lot from Andy Roddick. Poor Andy Roddick.
Yeah, he's the most unlucky tennis player of all time, probably.
I think he's doing okay.
He's fine.
Oh, yeah,
his
life's going well, but
Austin,
he doesn't have the trophies.
Married to Brooklyn Decker.
Well, I guess he does have one trophy.
He got a U.S. Open.
Oh, I meant his wife.
Oh, yes, also that. He does have one major title, though.
Yeah.
It was either U.S. or Aussie.
I think it was the U.S. Open.
Yeah, but that's not super sweet for Roddick that he came up at the same time. But Federer played so long. I think his first U.S. Open title was against Agassi. That's how long.
God damn.
Yeah.
What, Agassi retired in like 96, didn't he?
No, he retired in 05.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
damn.
he before what is currently happening in tennis, Andre Agassi was like a miracle. Like, it was insane that he was as competent as he was at the age of like 33, 34 years old. But then now everybody's like,
I don't know why I thought he was so much older.
He looks old.
I guess
like he's been bald forever.
He was wearing a wig.
He was wearing fake hair for a while.
He was definitely wearing a wig and doing meth, and that doesn't help your how you look either, age-wise. So it's a rough couple years when he was married to Brooke Shields.
Yeah, well.
But he's doing better now. But yeah, Alcaraz, dude, I assume he's going to be the favorite for the U.S. Open in a couple months. I don't foresee how he doesn't win it. I mean, hard court is, I guess, technically his worst surface, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In other tennis news that I thought, Dan, you in particular would enjoy, did you catch the ESPYs at all?
No, I don't. I haven't watched it in like 15 years.
I don't think anyone watches the ESPYs ever.
It's just dumb. But what happened with tennis?
Harrison Butker came up again.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw the clips of that, yeah.
Serena Williams, Venus Williams, and Quinta Brunson from Abbott Elementary, I think, were presenting. I don't even know what they're presenting, but they took a shot at Harrison Butker. Specifically, Serena Williams was like, we don't, like, Harrison Butker, you're not allowed to watch women's sports or something like that. Something.
That's like not getting invited to a party you don't want to go to. You know what I mean? That's like
the ESPYs just seem like a bad time.
It seems like the worst fucking time.
You have the Arthur Ashe Award. You give it to the guy with the ALS, like Lou Gehrig's disease, and he's giving an inspirational speech.
You've got several like debilitating disease awards because you have the Jimmy V Award too, right? So it's just like half of the night is people who are dying or like irreparably physically injured, and it just really brings down the room.
Like, how are you supposed to have a good time there?
Yeah. And then Serena does this shit. But I wanted to bring this up. I tweeted about this the other day, and it didn't get enough likes, so I want to talk about it here. Harrison Butker, people are mad at him, right? Because he had a speech that was informed by his religion. And Serena Williams takes
a speech that happened at
a Catholic college.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Serena Williams is a funny person to me.
Do you know what that is, by the way? That's you and your friend having a conversation and arguing about something, and then somebody else coming up and butting into your conversation and telling you how they don't like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah? Well, fuck off, dude.
And you know
it wasn't
what?
for you.
Yeah. If you're speaking loudly at a restaurant and you're annoying another person, then maybe they have a right to come up and be like, hey, you're both fucking idiots, and then walk away. but at the same time, like, calm down. But Serena in particular, this drives me insane that she felt the need to comment on this because, and a speech informed by Butker's religious beliefs, because she's a fucking Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, which is one of the craziest of all. Like, so for those of you that don't know, and this isn't to bash on anybody's religion or anything, believe whatever the fuck you want, but it has been 4 times now since the late 19th century that they have incorrectly predicted the end of the world. Now, you got to get it right at some point. And even if they get it right the next time, it's still only 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not putting their eggs in one basket like the Mayans, so that's a good strategy.
But the fucked up, and so people, and if you're wondering, although I doubt this audience is, but if you are wondering, like, oh well, was she just like raised in it, and like she's not like really like she just grew up in it, and now she's kind of like chill and doing whatever. No, she was fucking rebaptized or like got like her confirmation a couple of years ago.
She came to my door the other day.
Oh really?
Recruited me. Yeah.
I would do it. I'd be like, all right. If you beat me in tennis, you have to go play tennis with me. And if you beat me in tennis, which of course you can, I will convert. And then I would just get to play tennis with her and be like, psych.
Yeah.
And but thanks, that was fun. I could tell people I played with Serena Williams.
Tells me you're not a man of your word.
That's fine.
You know what's weird though? When somebody showed up to her house, she hid. Yeah. Which is what I do whenever. Actually, I invite Jehovah's Witnesses in.
Right.
Like, hey, you guys want to? Mormons too. I used to invite when I lived in Salt Lake City. Always like, yeah, come on in, guys. Let's have a conversation about this stupid shit you believe.
Did you just were you earnest, or did you like secretly make them an alcoholic drink and put some porn on?
No. I just asked them questions that I knew they couldn't answer.
Yeah. And now they're chained to his radiator.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
They're working. Yeah. They're working, singing spirituals and
job's a job.
Sewing stuff.
She's
like I don't understand why, like, oh, girl fucking power. It's ESPN, right?
Right.
So that's they're you know how the head of the Secret Service is a woman that shouldn't be there? Obviously. I think we figured that out over the past couple of days. ESPN's the same way. Like, I don't know who exactly is in charge over there because it isn't always the CEO. Sometimes that's a figure and people are running stuff behind the scenes. But they've made moves they're trying to corner the market on women's sports right now. They're trying to buy them all, which is something that they tried a couple years ago, right? They tried to buy up a bunch of stuff. And I don't mean just ESPN, but Disney as a parent organization. They bought Fox, they bought Hulu, they bought all this stuff, bought ESPN. And now it's like, oh, fuck, we're going bankrupt. We're going to sell some stuff. They're doing the exact same thing they did just a couple years ago, but with a worse product.
They put too much money into the women's empowerment in Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah. So they got to sell that.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a live event makes sense to me buying more than like, hey, let's make a terrible, what is it, the Marvels movie?
Yeah.
Miss Marvel or whatever the fuck. Yeah. A live event makes sense to me. It is also jarring to watch The Simpsons on Disney Plus.
But I don't think you can have a successful show like the ESPYs today.
No.
Unless because the diffusion of responsibility is too great. Everybody's got to go back to their team and explain what the fucked up shit they just said on stage, right? Basically is what's going to happen. Yeah. If you just let NBA and NFL and baseball guys say whatever they want and hockey guys say whatever they want.
Hockey in particular.
It's going to be rough, man.
Yeah.
They're going to talk a lot of shit to each other. It would be a great television, but that's just not where we are.
But everyone's got to answer to their PR guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least just let it rip and have like, he's dead, but like a Norm Macdonald type host the show again where they go nuts. But
or bring in Ricky Gervais for an ESPYs.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, Serena Williams, this is true. Like, you could say whatever you want about Harrison Butker's religious beliefs. Serena Williams will literally not give her daughters a blood transfusion if they're bleeding out and need blood because of being a Jehovah's Witness.
Which is interesting because she was so pumped full of gas.
Well, you can put other shit in your blood. You just can't put other people's blood in your body. Because I looked it up because I was like, I wonder if she's vaccinated. Because that would make a lot of people angry who agree with her. But Jehovah's Witnesses are allowed to vaccinate. They are not allowed, however, to get.
It's a weird amount of people that are famous that are Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Like Donald Glover was.
He grew up one though.
Yeah.
He was
What do you?
Not
what-
anymore, but yeah.
What's the thing that's most similar about them?
Well, yeah.
There are a lot of black Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mostly.
Yeah, it's very.
It's almost entirely black.
Is
now,
it really?
Which is very interesting. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I've always associated it with like, oh yeah, there's a weird amount of black people in it, but I still thought it was like kind of Mormon white.
Yeah,
for the
white
most
dude,
part.
tie.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like half the black dudes I knew in the army were Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's so fucking
Yeah,
weird.
it is.
But yeah, Serena,
But becoming one as an adult, Joe Rogan used to do a bit on this about Mormonism.
Yeah.
He's like, I understand people that grew up in the church. Like that's part of it's not just about religion, it's a part of your culture at that point. So who fucking cares, right? But if you earnestly start to believe the stuff they say as an adult, then that might be a bit of a problem, right? And he said he went on to say, I think that's why the Mormons hate gay people so much. Because remember, they funded Prop 8 in California to block marriage equality back in the day. They spent millions of dollars on it. And he was like, his joke was, if somebody can convince you that that's true as an adult, they can probably convince you to suck a dick, to be honest. So they got to be careful.
I also kind of respect early Mormons from the 1800s because they used to get hunted.
Across the country.
Yes.
Literally from New York all the way to Utah.
Yeah, it was
Like, oh,
legal.
I guess they really believe this shit.
Yeah.
If they're willing to die for it.
It was legal in Missouri to hunt Mormons.
Yeah.
like you were allowed to just kill them on. It was on site.
Well, once Brigham Young, or not Brigham Young, Joseph Smith and his brother burned down that the printing press in town, the newspaper in town, and he got arrested. Like his brother, his brother got arrested. This is how Joseph Smith died. His brother got arrested, and they launched they're like, let's get a posse together. And they went down there, and they all got killed.
And then there was a split between Brigham Young, James Strang, and
somebody went to Michigan.
They
right?
stayed in
James Strang.
Well, some of them stayed in Missouri as well.
Yeah.
Someone went north, and the rest went out to Utah.
Yeah, that's
Crazy, man.
bold to stay in the on-site state.
But you got to have some fucking like for real. That's what I was gonna say. You got to have some balls just to stick around.
Yeah.
I think the Reformed ones are still in Missouri.
That would
they
make
have like
sense.
looser. It's kind of like if you were not a full-on Jack Mormon, which is somebody that's culturally Mormon but doesn't obey any of the shit. But it's more like being on regular Jewish and not Orthodox. I guess something like that. It's interesting. Is the point of that, and having. I guess your point was having somewhat non-traditional religious beliefs didn't stop her from going after his, which is the largest religion on earth.
Catholicism.
Which is kind of interesting, right?
Like, do people even care?
All these people drinking water. What are you, crazy?
Wait, is Catholicism the largest at this point?
It's the largest.
3 billion,
sect.
3 billion people.
It's not Islam.
Islam, but you have to go Sunni, Shia. So if you just want Islam, but then Christianity is the biggest religion.
Yeah.
And then Catholic's the biggest sect of any religion.
I think Christianity is like, what, 3.5 billion or something like that?
Catholicism?
No, Christianity.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Or something like that. And
But
Catholicism was like 2.6 or
we got our
something.
own
I don't
continent,
remember.
baby.
And that's why we need Notre Dame to the Big 12.
Yes, I agree. Notre Dame needs to fucking shit.
They need
Or
to pick
get off the
They
pod.
need to pick a conference.
I agree.
You can't.
Well, this
keep
might
dipping a
force
toe
them
in.
to be honest, which
Yeah.
would be nice. But they still have. I mean, the barrier to that has been the TV contract they've had all this time.
with NBC.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
don't wanna-
if you can have your own TV contract that makes you that much money, why
You
give it
don't
up?
leave. Yeah.
You do what you want. You don't.
I mean, that
need-
was the big thing for Texas, right? Was the Big 12 TV contract and having to get out of that stuff.
Yeah, that was the big thing that broke up the Big 12 initially, was they wanted to do the Longhorn Network. And then they were like, and hey, guys, you can come and play us and be on our TV network that's only broadcast in Texas. And everyone was like, go fuck yourself.
The Big 12, we cannot hate Texas enough.
Yeah, you know, what's the
For what
saying?
they
Like,
did to
you
our
know, however
conference.
much you hate journalists, you don't hate them enough. However much you think you hate the University of Texas, you don't hate it enough.
Well, I mean, you're showing up. You're saying our conference like you guys have been there for a while.
Yeah, we've been here for a good. This is our second year now, year 2.
Like you just
2 years
got
in?
you just got citizenship, and you're like, this is my country.
Well, I mean,
no zealot like a convert.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking Iraqi cab driver that just came over.
I respect it.
It's fuck Texas. Anyway, we got some ads before we keep going. First up, we're brought to you by MyBookie. Of course, go to mybookie.com. Use the promo code Drinkin' Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. You put in $1,000, they'll give you $1,000. You only have $100 to put in, they'll match you $100, whatever. They'll match you up to $1,000. So use the promo code Drinkin' Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Again, college football, almost an exact month away. The NFL preseason about this on the same schedule as that, like coming up pretty soon, and then the NFL shortly after college. We're gambling on baseball. We're gambling on golf. There's decent UFC events, I think, coming up, right?
We got the England event in a couple weeks.
Let's gamble on that. And then, of course, you can watch our show every Friday, me and Delco Dan. We play their live casino. They have blackjack, roulette. We do blackjack. We play Casino Friday.
Some people are starting to pick up when we record because they come into our table.
Shout out to Smum.
There's a couple people that get in there and just chat with us.
Yeah. I only remember Smum off the top of my head, but he's good dude. Yeah, that's a fun show, and it's super fun to play. It's real dealers. It's like a video. It's like you're zooming in to the casino, and you're getting your cards dealt that way. So it's not some sketchy like digital arcade or anything like that. It's real people, technically with fake names, I'm pretty sure, but real people.
Yeah, I mean, we had Gambit throwing us cards the other day.
Gambit, yeah, it's outrageous. But yeah, real people dealing the cards. It's awesome. You got to check it out. And so if you want to play that, again, promo code Drinkin' Bros will double your first deposit up to $1,000 so you can hit the blackjack table. So if you're like, hey, I got an extra $1,000 to play around with, I'll go play some blackjack. Use promo code Drinkin' Bros. Now you got $2,000 to play with, baby. On the blackjack tables, check it out. It's super fun. MyBookie.com is where we make all our picks, including our home run derby picks, which we will be doing right after this. Next up, we've got First Form. You know them. You love them. We've been talking about their micro factors forever. Got their shirt on.
Good
How do you
merch.
spell that, Dan? Show the people.
1STPHORM.
Goddamn right.
They have the best merch too. Like their gym clothes are dope as fuck.
Really
Comfy.
Yeah.
I like their
The
I
best.
have some T-shirts, but I haven't had like all their other shit.
I like the size up. It's an extra large.
Fair enough.
Relax, dude.
You don't want to show off your bod. You
No.
should be wearing a medium, maybe.
No, I want to go 3XL actually, just so I can grow into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bulk goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bulking, they're all about the protein. If you don't know about First Form, they have a ton of great products. The Microfactors, the best energy drinks that we have ever had in the office, in my opinion, and also my favorite meat stick on the market, the freaking beef and cheddar, is my
That one's really good.
glorious.
Now you want a
thing.
high protein diet, Rob?
Yes.
What's high protein to you?
I go a gram of protein for a pound of body weight.
Not 1, 2.
Similar. It's similar. I think anything around that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or higher. Yeah.
Bob, how much protein do you eat a day?
Psh, dude, I don't even know, man. It's just like so much.
How much protein's in pizza?
It's probably higher because I'm like 220 right now, so I probably eat close to 260, 275 a day.
I'm about 250 and I weigh 225. So
So
yeah, that makes sense.
kind of eat. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get enough protein, so you gotta supplement it.
Yeah, eggs, milk help. Fucking peanut butter helps sometimes, but there's a lot of sugar in
But
it.
the easiest thing is just that scoop of First Form.
Yeah,
protein.
it is. I'm on 3 scoops a day. 2 scoops and they go into water, and then 1 scoop that goes into milk later in the day. Because I like that casein at night to burn overnight.
Plus, I do things to make other things taste better with the protein.
Yeah.
So I'll get that like plain Greek yogurt, throw some scoops of First Form protein, mix it.
Which one do you put in there? I like red velvet and
Red
yogurt.
velvet's good.
Yeah, that shit's fucking
Mint
good.
chocolate chip.
That's kind of one of their big things with the protein too. Is they had like kind of flavors. That
They got
no
all
one else
kinds of
had,
recipes on
and
there,
like
yeah.
really good shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I let you guys speak on it because I'm a fucking.
Now there's all kinds of recipes. If you look around on their social media and their website, there's all kinds of recipes for the protein.
I've been throwing their Fruity
Oatmeal.
Loops flavor over like Fruit Loop flavored cereal.
Fruit Loop flavored cereal? Are
Yeah.
you shopping off the bottom shelf? What's
Yeah,
going on?
you eat cereal out of a bag? What are you doing?
Just get the
I know,
Fruit Loops.
I know we pay you well. What the fuck's going on? It's gambling.
I don't want to say the name because I want to give them a free ad, but because we're in the middle of another ad.
It's fine. They're not competitors with anyone on our network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. So Magic Spoon. I'll throw the Fruity Loops
Yeah.
over
Okay,
the Fruity
yeah.
Loop.
Well, they
Magic
used
Spoon.
to be an
Yeah, they used to
advertiser.
be. A Magic Spoon's really good.
Yeah. So check out First Form. Go to 1stphorm.com/Drinkin' Bros. You get free shipping on orders over $75 when you use that link, and I can guarantee you will spend over $75, not because they have overpriced shit or anything like that, but because they have so much good stuff. You will want to spend over $75. Highly recommend it. And speaking of protein, boy, there's more than one way to get it. And Moinkbox is another fantastic way to get some protein into your body.
You're goddamn right.
It is the best meat I have ever eaten. I will say this. I want a personal description here of how good Moink is. I love wings. And one of the reasons I love wings is because I love spicy food, and I love to dip it in some delicious blue cheese dressing. I went to your house for one of those UFC fights, and you made wings, and there was blue cheese dressing there, but the wings and the meat was so good that the blue cheese dressing was ruining it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good, the blue cheese made it worse. That is an unfathomable thing to me.
It's the difference between factory farmed meat and real meat is so different that I feel like a lot of people, especially that grew up in major cities or around major cities, have been eating, especially people our age, because that's about when it started. They've been eating garbage their whole lives. I used to make pork chops for Joel when he would come over.
Yeah.
And it's real pork. And the way you can tell, and it was from either Moink or Jake, but the way you can tell it's real pork is that the fat isn't like bright white. It's yellow, right? That's how you can tell that they've actually been eating normal food. And when it's just like a different flavor. So this time of year, right before football season starts, my Moink order changes or gets augmented to, I get some steaks, but then I get like no shit every month, 12 pounds or so of chicken wings. Because I know I'm going to smoke them like several times that month.
I mean, they're really big, especially for being non-jacked up with hormones and stuff like that. They're still quite large. And it is the best chicken I've ever eaten. And chicken's a type of meat, too, especially when you eat the factory farming bullshit where you're like, it just doesn't taste like anything. Like, it tastes good.
You've got to cover it in fucking sloppy messes. This is your St. Louis ribs, for example, and your burnt ends.
Yeah,
bad barbecue in St. Louis.
Oh, my God.
What I did, on the other hand, though, was I got their thick-cut bacon, and then I also got a pork tenderloin, wrapped the tenderloin in bacon.
I've got a tenderloin in my freezer right now, one of those. They're fucking good.
The meat is life-changingly good. And by the way, like, not expensive. Like, it is
it's very reasonable.
It is extremely reasonable.
I get a box every 2 weeks, and it's like I would spend way more if I went to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For probably, I mean, we're lucky in Texas as far as beef goes. You can get grass-fed beef pretty much anywhere at any HEB across the state. That's not true in most states, to be honest. Missouri, you can do that. Texas, you can do that. Oklahoma, you can do that. California, Northern California, not Southern, you can do that. But most states, to be honest, it's a crapshoot on the meat you're getting there. And I don't trust the chicken from anywhere.
I know. You go to a grocery store in Pennsylvania, it's usually dog.
I don't trust the chicken from any grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, it's all from Brazil. It's Tyson. 80% of the market
I'm like
is
Jim
Tyson.
Harbaugh. It's a paranoid bird. I won't eat it.
It's a scared bird. Well, it's not a scared bird, but those birds were scared. See, that's where he screwed it up, right? Yeah. Like, a chicken itself, it's like a dinosaur. Like, the Joe Rogan always posts on his thing. Like, they'll fuck shit up. But these are chickens from, like, basically, like, chicken Dachau. You know what I mean? Like, they're in a chicken concentration camp.
And I'm only kidding. At Moink, though, you can actually get a full chicken.
Yeah, I've smoked whole chickens from them before.
Yeah, I mean, all their stuff is life-changing. Right now, though, if you go to moinkbox.com/drinkinbros, you will get a free bacon for a year. So basically, every order you get, I think, a thing of bacon.
A pound of bacon.
Pound of bacon, yeah. I mean, and their bacon is incredible. I'm usually not necessarily like a thick-cut guy, because I like it to get it like really crispy, but even their bacon is just incredible. It's so good.
You're not cooking it well enough.
What?
Said you're not cooking it well enough. You can get that thick cut really crispy.
I know you can. I'm just saying. I like to just do things quick.
Well, the trick to getting it crispy is to put the cooked bacon, like cook it to the temperature you want it, and then put it on paper towels so it soaks the excess grease off. That's what makes it crispy. There's no trick to basically poaching like pork in oil to make it crispy. That's not how it works. You have to like put it on something and let it drain.
I like to bake it. Like to bake the bacon.
Yeah, but then you don't get the same kind of the flavor from baking it is not the same.
No, it's also not crispy.
That's how they do it at restaurants, baby. They bake it. Bake that bacon.
Not at my restaurant.
Either way, Moink is the shit. Definitely check it out. Next up, we have let's get into the home run derby predictions. Home run derby's tonight. That's why Ross isn't here. He is stepping up as a father. Court-ordered time with his kids.
Yeah.
So he
tried to get out of it, but
he did. I mean, that's why he's at the home run derby. At least he could do something fun.
Yeah.
You know? Is he taking both or just one? I don't remember.
I'm sure it's just Jax. I don't
the older one.
Jagger wants to. I don't think he cares about baseball yet.
Yeah. Was he like 5, 6?
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of hard. I remember going to my first baseball. I took my kid to his first baseball game, and it was like a monstrous waste.
You're just trying to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Like watching out for the ball and hoping he doesn't start crying.
Pretty much.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I was drinking still, so I had a good time. And it was Braves Rangers a couple of years ago, but boy, did he not give a shit. And that game started right at his bedtime, so it was a fucking nightmare drive home.
Trump just picked J.D. Vance as his VP.
Oh, really?
Wow. Breaking news.
We'll be talking about that a little bit tomorrow.
Are we doing fake news tomorrow? Or just
No, we've actually, tomorrow's show, it's sports related to some degree. So one of the attorneys that's working on the Jerry Sandusky case that we mentioned
that's
is going
right.
to be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Are we bold enough to sell a free Sandusky T-shirt on the store?
No, I wouldn't want to profit off his likeness.
It's definitely not bold. I think it's just a choice.
Yeah. But anyway, home run derby. The odds are here. Interesting odds. Marcell Ozuna is the number 2 favorite.
Yeah, he's not winning
right now.
I don't think he's gonna win. I mean, I'll say this for him: good pitch selector and a very compact and repeatable swing.
Yeah,
that's good for him.
And violent.
Yeah,
too.
like that's good for him for sure. So I could see that. Pete Alonso, I think, gets in his head too much. He wants to win too much. He's not having.
This is like his thing now.
You can tell he's not having fun when he does it anymore. And the Mets are struggling this year, so this is going to be is his Super Bowl.
Right? Mets are doing better.
We'll see, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're in the hunt.
Yeah,
they're in the hunt.
Aren't they in the
if the Padres falter, there's a decent chance they
Ah.
make a wild card. The Padres are ahead of them right now, I think. But they've been hit or miss lately too. No pun intended. I go with the fucking hometown guy. Adolis Garcia.
Good odds on that too, by the way.
Yeah,
the Mets. I'm sorry, the
5-1.
The Mets are in a playoff spot.
Oh, they overtook the Padres.
The D-backs and
Yeah,
the
they've been
Padres,
playing
who
well.
are tied.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, the NL sucks.
The National League is pretty ass,
Yeah.
because the Cardinals are the other playoff spot, and they are deeply mediocre. But
Yeah.
the Mets are 3 games over 500. That's better than I thought they were going to be at this
Nice.
point. But yeah, so here's the odds, or here's an order of the favorites. Alonso, basically 3-1. Marcell Ozuna, basically 4-1, plus 390. Gunnar Henderson, literally 4-1.
Orioles are struggling right now.
They're in first place.
Yeah, I know, but they've been struggling.
Yeah, I guess the Yankees have just been much worse.
No, the Cubs swept them.
That happens. Cubs aren't terrible.
Cubs suck.
They're not terrible. The Orioles, they're only 1 game up on the Yankees, actually. But they do have the second best record in the AL, a half game behind the Cleveland Guardians. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, Gunnar Henderson 4-1. Bobby Witt Jr. plus 420.
Yes, dude.
Meh.
Is he a hometown boy? Is he from Texas?
He's probably from Texas, but I would take Adolis personally. He's from Colleyville, Texas. I think he grew up a Rangers fan. Who else do we
Give me
get?
Witt or give me the value play. 17-1, Alec Bohm.
I love Alec Bohm at 17-1.
He's the only issue with Bohm is he's got a long ass swing.
Yeah.
And those don't typically do well in the second and third rounds. Just that's like people short compact swings do well later on because guys tire themselves out. Maybe it's different this year with the change. I just think my top 2 are Ozuna and Garcia because of their swings.
Yeah.
I just think they're better suited for this type of event. But who knows, man? Bohm is a big, strong motherfucker. So if he just gets in a groove and has an easy swing, he's found his rhythm, and he's putting the barrel on the ball, he's not going to have to swing hard.
He's going to win. He's going to kind of wave the Israeli flag.
Yeah, and then his career's going to tank like Bobby Abreu. He's going to get 48 home runs in the Derby and never.
I don't want to talk
never
about Bobby's
recover.
career.
Yeah,
Right?
recover.
Jose Ramirez, I feel like, is not a bad value at 12-1 either. Plus 1225. I don't know. I do think Adolis Garcia, Ozuna, and Bohm are probably the 3 best to bet on. Alonso doesn't got that juice.
No, Gunnar Henderson's interesting.
Yeah.
He's a big, strong kid too. Young, no issue. Like the only thing that concerns me about Ozuna is I'm not sure how good his conditioning is.
Yes.
Because he only DHs. So we see him and he always looks fresh. Is because he does something 4 times a game.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. He doesn't even run onto the field.
Can I bet on how many balls foul ball guy steals from children?
Oh, boy. I hope so. It's infinite. The number can't be high enough.
I think they should give the kids, like, you can steal the ball from the kid, but the kids all have tasers.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
So if you piss them off enough, you're getting
Or
zapped.
bats.
No, you don't want anybody to get seriously injured. So the
those
adults
little
have to wear
bats.
helmets.
Mm-hmm.
And, the little ones aren't going to do enough damage to an
No.
adult, though.
Maybe.
Full on,
like
at least a
toddler
stun
has
gun.
one of those
I
little
don't know,
bats.
man. A 10-year-old me could fuck up somebody's shin bone with a baseball bat.
Those little collective ones, though, like I would kick
Even
you right in
though-
the face.
By the way, horrible thing to buy for your children if you have more than one because they will start beating each other with them.
Well, it's a child. What's this for? Or it's a male child. What's this for? Cracking people over the head.
Yeah, literally. They just turn into a Bobby from London in the 1890s.
Well, it's because your kid's a monster.
It's fair. It's fair. He's learning the ways. Mm-hmm. He kills to show frustration. But who amongst us doesn't? There's a lot of
I do it for the love of the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
What do you guys? Give me one official pick for the home run derby around the horn.
I've got Adolis Garcia.
I'm gonna go Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt.
Witt.
All right. You know what? I'll back my Phillies. I'm going Alec Boehm at 17-1. I'm going to put some money on
Phillies,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, back my Phillies here. Always been a big Philly guy.
Best baseball player in the world, though, Bobby Witt. He's going to win the home run derby, become a star.
I mean, Bobby Witt's up there.
He's already a fucking star.
He is easily already a star.
I guess
the problem
more
is
of a household name.
Well, he's
in Kansas City.
If Bobby Witt
how big
plays
of a
his
star could he
entire
be?
career in Kansas City, does that prove what's his nuts wrong about Jeter? And he makes the Hall of Fame. Does that prove? Who was it that said that? That if was it
Manny?
Manny Ramirez
Or Pedro?
or Pedro?
One of
Maybe it
those.
was Pedro. Yeah.
No, but Jeter stinks.
By the way, George Brett played his entire career in Kansas City, and
He was the biggest star in the 80s, just about. I mean, he was a top 5 star in the 80s, you could say.
But if Jeter played for the Royals, he wouldn't be Derek fucking Jeter.
Yeah, that's because Jeter was overrated as a everyday
defender
player.
Yeah, as a defender at least.
Yeah.
As a hitter, he was.
I mean, 3,000 hits,
Yeah.
3,000 hits. Yeah, I agree with that. Bobby Witt Jr., by the
Fourth
way, is
in
currently... Man, I do not even understand how
Does
good of
Derek Jeter pull the ass he does if he's not in New York?
No, because there's not an ass like that in Kansas City.
Absolutely. I mean, look, he'll go down Ward Parkway and find something nice, but it's not going to be...
Go down to P&L and find some divorcees to.
God. No, because then you wake up the next morning, find out she's from Olathe, and your life is ruined because she's pregnant.
Yeah. See, they don't fucking do abortions there, but
It's not Jessica Alba. Yeah.
It's definitely not Jessica Alba. See, that's the problem. That's why women need to stop complaining about having it worse than men, because Taylor Swift can go into Kansas City and bag a stud, but no male athlete can go into Kansas City and find comparable talent. Like, you just have to find the hottest chick from from the richest part of Kansas City.
Overland Park.
Yeah, basically. You
which
gotta
is
go
not even. That's across the goddamn border.
Yeah, it's KCK.
But at least she doesn't have hepatitis. Mostly in Overland Park, which is nice. Or Olathe as well.
Yeah. Olathe isn't a bad part. I was trying to think of a shitty part. Let's call it in Missouri. Shawnee's in Kansas. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dump.
Anyways, I think that 5-1 is about my limit, to be honest. Like that's as low as I'm going to go. I'm not going to bet on Witt or Gunnar or Ozuna. Or definitely not Alonso. I mean, if you're betting on the favorite, you're a sucker anyways.
And not that it like totally matters in terms of how many home runs you've hit this year, but like 16, I don't know. Gunnar Henderson has 28. Like, it's just there's a lot of power from these other dudes. Marcell Ozuna's got 26. Like I know Bobby Witt Jr. is trying to do other things. Like, he's hitting 323. Like, but either way, he also is already in his career has 15 wins above replacement.
Wow.
14, I'm sorry. 14 wins above replacement in 2.5 years.
I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer because...
on that trajectory? It's
I mean, if he keeps playing shortstop the way he does, he's a Hall of Famer because he's going to get an extra, fucking 15 to 20 WAR from that.
From defense
So
alone.
it's going to put him up at like 80, 85.
Oh,
That's Hall of Fame.
I mean,
for sure, for a position player.
He's fucking insane. And he's already going to get his... He's going to start his career with 3 2020 seasons. He's not. He's already got a 30-40 season. He'll probably have another 30-40 season this year. He's nuts. I love Bobby Witt Jr. as a baseball player. I don't necessarily have a ton of faith in him in the home run derby.
So Gunnar Henderson has the second highest hard hit percentage in Major League Baseball, right behind Aaron Judge. And nobody else. The next guy from the home run derby that shows up is Marcell Ozuna, about 4% behind him.
Okay.
So if there's a number that can predict it, it would be exit velo or hard hit percentage, and then launch angle. And since he's got 28 home runs, I don't think launch angle is a problem.
No.
So he might be at 4-1, that's not the worst odds. This is a special event, so I'm not trying to win money. I'm just trying to fucking.
And you wonder
make a
who's
long
going to
bet.
come out like too juiced. You know what I mean? Like swinging out of their shoes and getting tired.
This is his first time.
Yeah.
And he's young, so.
This is not Alonso's first time, not Garcia's first time. Probably is Ozuna's first time, right? Has he done it before?
No, probably not. But I feel like he's such a goofball that he might actually do really well at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a Acuna didn't take it seriously enough. You can't just like fucking sling balls to right field and hope for the best. You know what I mean? It's not batting practice. It's a home run derby. But Ozuna, he's very competitive, but he's also usually in pretty good. Like he's usually in a pretty good headspace. I feel like he doesn't get inside his own head that much.
He has been his. Just if you want to go on pitch selection this year, he's been surprisingly savvy and intelligent. Not what I expected from Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe he got whatever they're giving Biden. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know where his stamina level is. That's why. Yeah. Like that, I would love to bet on the hometown guy. I just don't. I feel like he's going to be gassed.
And that is a point in Bobby Witt's favor. Yeah, because he's probably
same thing with Gunnar Henderson.
Yes,
like he's going to be
in good shape. Yeah. And then if Bohm can swing easy, because he's a big dude.
If he gets into, I mean, we've seen it, right? Ken Griffey Jr. is a big dude, 6'3", big guy, long swing, right? Yep. I mean, it's compact to the ball, but it's a long swing. But he never had any issues because of rhythm, right? So Bohm gets into a rhythm, big guy like that. We've seen dudes like that win the home run derby before. Big guys didn't. What was that tall dude from Pittsburgh back in the day? He came in second, but he made it to the finals.
I don't remember.
Jason Bay, I think his name was.
Jason Bay was one.
Jason Bay.
He went to the.
Or was it Jason Kendall, the catcher?
No, it was Jason Bay. Okay. He went to the semifinals, or he went to the finals one year. He lost against somebody that was all roided out, I think. But if you see a guy long swing, big dude that gets into a rhythm like that, Bohm would definitely win. Put fucking $10 on it. Who cares? You win $170.
Yeah,
but parlay it with the first round leader at the British Open.
Or can you parlay it with the? I don't know if you could do this.
This is the winner.
And I know Jose
the league
Ramirez.
of the winner.
Can you what?
Parlay it with. No,
yeah, probably.
I, so.
I know Jose Ramirez steals a fair amount of bases, but he's kind of a bigger, chubbier dude too. I would have questions about him.
Yeah, I don't know about him.
Going deep into that as well. Garcia is a horse, and Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson are young, strong dudes. Yeah. Alonso is a big dude. Alonso's kind of more like Ozuna, where it's like I wonder where, like they're big and strong, but I wonder where their conditioning's at.
Well, so American League, you have Gunnar, Bobby Witt, Adolis Garcia, and Jose Ramirez, and the National League is the rest: Alonso, Ozuna, Hernandez, and Bohm. You can pick the league. The league of the winner. It's -116 American League, -106 National League.
Interesting. Okay. And then to the All-Star game real quick, who you got in that? The American League is actually, this is weird, they're +1.5, but their money line is -127 to the National League's -109.
What are you saying? You can bet on either.
I know, but they have a more favored money line, but they're dogs on the run line, right?
Yeah, because they're given a run and a half.
Okay,
so you get better odds if you bet on American League -1.5.
I'm just saying
that makes sense.
I guess just bet the team that has the worst odds for the money line, which National League's like even money, just about basically -109. I'll take that.
They also have the player to hit the longest home run. And Bobby Witt is the shortest odds on that. As a matter of fact, by about 200. He's Bobby Witt is +159, and Ozuna is +360. He's the second one.
What do they know?
Well, yeah.
What do they know?
Honestly, though.
Does he have the longest home run of the season?
No, definitely not. You can also bet on the finalists. This is where you get really good odds, actually. You can go Ozuna, Alonso's +800. I would, if you want to find like some good like long odds, I would maybe go pick both the finalists, and you're making a lot of money on those. And then you can bet over under on total home runs. 269.5 is the total.
Okay, I'm looking at the longest home runs of 2024. It's mostly Aaron Judge and Shohei, to be honest. Christian Walker.
What a fucking travesty. Ohtani's not in this.
It's Ohtani and Ellie De La Cruz.
Yep.
I want to see Ellie De La Cruz when he uppercut swings like that.
Okay.
Just lasers into the clouds.
Of everyone that's in the Derby, Bobby Witt Jr. has the longest home run so far this season, 454 feet.
Toady bitch.
Damn. Man.
Dan knows ball.
That is kind of surprising.
That is extremely
As a matter of fact, none of the other guys are even in the top 50.
Shit. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, those are your odds for the home run derby. And then just before we get out of here, either you guys see all the Copa America shit last night? They fucking trashed the Hard Rock.
Yeah, you can't have, I mean, look, we're learning this with illegal immigration to some degree, right? Like maybe it's time to have the Copa somewhere other than the U.S. for
No, it's Miami. It makes sense.
Just party, baby.
Miami is not America. We've given up Miami long ago.
Just cut it off.
No, when you go to Miami, you
don't
accept you're in a different country.
Yeah.
You're in North Cuba.
I kind of vibe with that, to be honest.
I do
on my
too.
one trip to Miami.
I like it.
Man, if you guys haven't seen it on the show, go.
Miami actually has a bunch of different neighborhoods. So there's like a Russian Jewish neighborhood as well.
And it's not just Cuban. It's you got Dominican and all kinds of shit.
It's an
Miami
place.
is arguably the most American city in this country.
Because it's
tropical. It's tropical
Yeah.
New York now because nobody wants to go to fucking New York anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense. I loved Miami. Like our time,
It's the best.
It was a blast. Yeah, man. Go look up the Copa shit. My favorite is them climbing into the vents in the stadium just to get up to another level or something like that.
Also, hate to see England lose another major cup.
Man,
to Spain.
England that's got to be what would be their like professional sports equivalent? England soccer.
What do you mean?
Because they're just like they're like the inventors of the sport, and they never win.
England?
Yeah,
it's been a while since they've won. I mean, they win the Euros.
I don't think they've won it.
They've won the Euros in a while. They've won a major cup in a long time.
What about UEFA?
But isn't that's Pro League, right?
Yeah, that's Premier.
Yeah.
I mean, they've won Premier League.
I guess that is,
a Premier League team has, but that doesn't count.
I don't think
as a
England's
national
won a
title.
World Cup since like the 80s. I think was the last one. I think it was way back in the day.
It's coming home. It never does. It never comes home.
It was.
They were champions in '66.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's been a while.
They have not won a Euro ever.
I don't think it's been around that long.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. But what about I guess UEFA. Like for club, that doesn't count.
It's just national team. Their national team hasn't won since the '60s.
Yeah, Nations League finals. They've only ever finished third. Yeah, it's brutal. It's like I'm trying to think of an equivalent of someone who's like it's almost like what Notre Dame football is becoming. You know what I mean? Like the holier than thou. Like we are basically the inventors of the sport. And
they're fun though,
but they never win.
I like the English.
I do too.
I want them to win.
I do too. They just don't.
They don't have the guys.
Yeah.
They don't have the horses in the back.
They need to do what the Americans did and set up more foreign bases and have their soldiers breed with local women, or
this is why they have all the immigrants coming in.
Yeah, I mean honestly, they might you might be able to get a certain amount of conservative British on board with off the rails immigration if it meant better soccer players. If it meant they get an Mbappe.
An Mbappe?
Yeah, on their team, it might sell some.
England has fallen.
I mean, they already have parts of the city that are 100% Muslim, so why can't you fucking put together?
But they don't really translate.
Muslims are good football players.
Yeah, but what Muslim? I mean,
maybe
if you get like a North African Muslim.
Yeah, but Ivory,
dude
like
from Egypt's pretty good.
Ivory Coast guys. Remember that? Who was that dude? God, what was his name?
For Italy?
The Ivory Coast guy that played for Chelsea all those years.
Oh,
Pogba or not Pogba?
Was it
Ghana?
Was
Balotelli?
Was he from Ghana or
no? Balotelli's good.
Didier Drogba?
He's Drogba. That's it. Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
And then that guy's good too.
Or actually, what they should do is what the U.S. team did with Joel Embiid, and just
feed him sugar until he gets diabetes, and then make him
Then you give him citizenship. Yeah.
If you're an immigrant and you get diabetes, that's immediate American citizenship.
That's like that and crippling debt.
Yeah,
you're fucking in, bud.
It pains me to say this, but Embiid should not be a starter for the U.S. team.
You're such a hater on your own guy.
On my own guy.
Yeah.
That's just a Philly thing.
He's just not a good fit though for the team.
I agree with that. They're more of an up and down the court team.
Anthony Davis should be in there.
Yeah.
As the center.
He's probably gonna get most of the minutes. Maybe they'll switch things up.
I think they're gonna play him at the 4.
He could play.
Have them both on probably.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
Embiid slows the game down.
Yeah.
Which you don't want.
Yeah.
with
Not
that
in
team.
the international game for sure.
It'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. But we are out of time here on the Monday morning recap. We are brought to you again by MyBookie. Use promo code Drinkin Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Live casino, sports betting, presidential betting. I'm sure those odds change with the J.D. Vance announcement. Yeah, all kinds of shit like that. Thanks for tuning in. Ross will be back tomorrow for the regular shows. Next Monday for Monday morning recap. For Dan Hollaway and Delco Dan Regester, I'm Rob Fox.